everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Recession Resistant Real Estate Radio. I'm your host, Brandon Cobb, co-founder of HBG Capital, and today we're going to be talking about time audits. If you've never done a time audit before and you're in business, you're leaving money on the table. I remember when I did my first time audit, I've actually got it pulled up right here. There were 39 different things that I was managing on a weekly basis. And I would have these days where I would get to the end of the day, it'd be 8 o'clock at night. I would just finish working and I would look back and go, what in the world did I do today? Like I could not remember where all my time went. And so what this showed me was my time was death by 1,000 cuts. There were so many little things that were happening to me that I wasn't able to like be aware of in the moment, all these little fires, all these little tangents that happened. And it was really putting hamper on my productivity. So I want to show you exactly what I did, how to perform a time audit, like the results that I got from it, like the changes that I made and what some of these items were on here and what you can do to get these off your plate and be way more productive. But before we jump into it, if you've been interested in learning more about unique real estate investments, if you've been interested in building a legacy, impacting those close to you through passive income secured by real estate, please go to our website, hbgcapital.net. Book a call with us. We look forward to getting to know you. All right. So a time audit is just that. It's when you do an audit of your actual time. Now, performing these can be quite difficult. It takes discipline, but if you can do it, you only have to do it for a week. So I'm going to tell you exactly how to do it, what I found from my time audit, the changes I made, and then how that had an effect. But the whole framework to think of these time audits in is the compounding effect of using your time wisely. We've all seen that chart, that investment chart, the stuff that Dave Ramsey puts out there, the stuff that everyone who speaks about financial freedom and compound interest, where you get this just exponential growth as you put money and invest money and it grows. But no one has taken that framework and applied it to your time. Just like you need to make investments in your portfolio and have it compound and grow over time, so too can you make investments in your time on the things that you're able to do, and those activities are going to compound your success over time, not just in business, but in your relationships as well, and the relationships with yourself. So very important that you do this. Most people don't realize that there are hundreds of things pulling them in each different direction, and it is adding up to thousands of hours at the end of the year. And if you take what you could do in thousands of hours and apply it towards whatever you want in life, I can almost guarantee you that that time spent is going to get you where you need to go. This is the type of stuff that nobody is talking about. So time auditing for compounding results with your life. Let's jump into it. So first thing you need to do is get an Excel sheet out, get some notes on your phone. Your phone's what you're going to be using for this. And you need to set an alarm to go off every single hour. I know that sounds crazy. It sounds like a lot, but you have to set an alarm for it to go off every single hour. And at the end of every single hour, you have to write down in your Excel list what you did and how many minutes. And what you'll find probably about by day 4 is that you've got 30 to 40 activities in there and you're just adding minutes to each activity. So you want to add these up to see like how you're spending your week. And what you're going to get at the end of the 7 days is a work-life balance. You're going to see exactly how many minutes you're working, and not just working, but on what specific activities that you're working on and how much time you're able to spend with family. You're going to see exactly all those small things that take up so much of your time and then come up with unique ways to outsource these. So here's what my time audit looked like when I originally did this. Now, there are approximately 39 things on here, and I learned that I spend 129 minutes a week doing paperwork and digital DocuSigns. This is like signing stuff from the bank, signing contracts, signing approvals to get information. I literally spent an hour and a half, 129 minutes, just signing stuff. I spent 291 minutes answering emails. That is close to, what is that, like 5 hours? I spent 375 minutes in meetings with people. I spent, and I have this one highlighted in red. I spent 485 minutes driving to projects, driving to negotiate deals with sellers. That is a lot of time in the car. I spent 285 minutes texting. Now, this was oh my God, this was a huge one. I spent 714 minutes on the phone. Holy freaking schmoly. A couple other things, seller negotiations, I spent 165 minutes. Walking properties, I spent 150 minutes. I spent 112 minutes eating. I thought that was pretty good, actually. I spent 265 minutes in the gym. And if I could just show you these things, like there's so many small things like haircut, pay bills, YouTube time, showering. I spend 75 minutes a week in the shower. Planning trips, I spent 55 minutes. It's what I learned was it was death by 1,000 cuts. And if you aren't aware of what you're spending your time on, there's nothing you can do to change it. So the first thing for me was I went next to all these line items and I assigned $1 per hour activity that I could pay somebody to do. And I left all the high dollar per hour activities on my plate. And I basically outsourced all these little things that I was now aware of to my assistant. So my assistant was able to take and free up 2 hours of my week just by DocuSigning everything. She'd send a quick text, hey, you got this DocuSign. Here's what it is. Do you want me to sign it? Boom. Got that taken care of. Mailing checks. Got her to outsource that. Got her to outsource setting up the meetings. We switched to this Loom platform. You know, if you're watching this on YouTube, we use Loom to communicate. I no longer spend all this time typing up emails to people. I'm just, boom, I click a button. I record a video real quick. Boom, send a link to them. Off you go. That saved an hour and a half of meetings every single week trying to get people on the phone to have a conversation. I changed where I only check email about 3 times a day, unless there's something important that I'm waiting on. This was big. I found that like my productivity gets cut in half when I'm constantly distracted by email. When my mindset is constantly going to that email every 5-10 minutes, I'm not able to focus on what I'm doing. So just by answering all the emails in the morning, noon, and before I check out at night, I'm able to just clear my head and actually focus on the things that I should be doing. Organizing and planning my schedule. I completely offloaded this to my assistant, saved me an hour and a half a week doing that. She confirms all of my appointments for me. She sets all my schedules. I just connect her with the person, say, pick something on my calendar and get it set up. So all the back and forth between the people that I need to talk to and connect with, she sets all that up. 100% her. On Alina, it was funny. A lot of these things, my buddy was actually like, dude, you spend an hour a week doing laundry. You need to outsource that. And I'm like, what do you recommend? He's like, I got a nanny, man. You need a nanny. I was like, man, you're like, fine. I can get down with a nanny. Nanny might be fun. But so many of these things are able to be outsourced if you're just aware of them. And once you're aware of them, you can do something about it. You know, like I spent 714 minutes on the phone, text message, 484 minutes driving. I mean, I don't know what is 1,300 minutes a week look like? I don't even know what that is. I don't even divide that by 60. I hired somebody to do that. I didn't need to be driving and doing all this negotiation, driving properties. You know, we got a sales rep to do that. We moved some people around, and that was huge, but I couldn't do anything about it because I was not aware of what the problem was. So if you do a time audit, and I encourage people to continue to do a time audit at least maybe once every 6 months to a year, make sure that all your activities are at least $1,000 per hour activities. For me, this is hiring people. This is looking at new mastermind groups. It's hiring strategic partners like fractional CFOs. It's raising capital for real estate deals. It is empowering my team to be able to do their department and run their department the best way possible. These are the $1,000 activities that I need to make sure that my schedule is focused on. When a private equity company acquires a smaller company from like an entrepreneur, an owner, founder, the first thing they look at is what exactly they're spending their time on, because they know that this founder who's now running this company that they own a share of profit and a share of equity in, they're already working as many hours they can work. There's no more hours to work. There's nothing more to squeeze out of that rock, but they are going to change what they're working on. So I encourage everybody to do this time audit. Take the time to do it. Make sure that you're focused on the $1,000 per activities, because that time audit is going to compound and eventually give you the life that you want to live. All right. That's it for today. We'll see you next time.